Just want to welcome you and say thank you. Well, thank you for the work you put in. Well done, well done, well done. First South African team, yeah? Amazing, amazing. How do you feel?
Sure. No. Yeah, no, it was a nice race. It was good. I think it's a bit unexpected to finish where we did, considering day one with adding on 60 k's onto our ride. So yeah, it was a bit of a surprise that we ended up where we did. So we chuffed with that. I think it's part of AR.
I think we just kept on saying, well, every transition, every leg, as long as we just pass one team, eventually we'll start building up. And then, I mean, we only moved into third position on the last leg.
Yeah.
And it's like, we can actually still get a podium. Don't know how, but we did it. So, yeah.
Yeah, the one thing you always have to keep in mind is when it's absolutely crap out there, the other time teams are also suffering. And we made a big stuff up in the beginning, but we're waiting for them to make their stuff up. Okay, unfortunately they didn't, but so just keep on pushing because you never know.
Yeah, exactly. You proved the case. You've done Expedition Africa how many times before?
You've done it.
I don't know, how many are there?
He's done seven.
Seven.
This is my fourth one.
My fourth.
Your fourth one and your
Second one.
So compared to those events, I mean, each one's special for its own reasons, right? How do you feel about this one?
Sure.
We got the timing all wrong. The most beautiful hiker bike, okay, that's debatable. But in any case, the hiker bike was at night.
We only cycled at night, and we paddled and everything during the day. I don't mind the paddling during the day.
I think all the best sections for sure we did at night. So we definitely have to move the timing item. So I can't. I'm not sure what the race looked like because for me most was dark.
Yeah.
But in any case, it was an awesome race.
There were long legs though. We're saying now coming to transition, it was one of these races where transition always felt like it was 20 k's further than it should have been. So it's just never arrives. It's just you go on and on and on and on, and they were long, but it was a beautiful race. It was tough, but it was good.
Yeah. I think it was a good mix. Legs were long, not too long.
They were too long.
No, they were too long.
Only the paddling legs.
It's only when you cycle 150 k's on a 90 k cycle that it becomes too long.
So you, when you got to tier 5, before the dark zone,
Yeah.
and then you had to start. How long did you actually get to sleep?
I think
I was the only one that slept.
Yeah, and
So
we
We were all like, okay, we got an hour to sleep. Got my Zoom bag and I slept. But those three waited up.
Not true. I also.
yeah.
I think you slept a bit as well.
Yeah, I have a clean conscience. So I can sleep.
Yeah, so I think we unfortunately sleeping in transition never really works.
Unfortunately, they were sleeping next to me, so they couldn't get me.
Yeah. And then I think the second night we
2 hours.
We got 2 hours the second night, and then the third night an hour and a half and a quick 20-minute power nap.
Yeah.
When Janneke couldn't stay up straight anymore, she kept running
Yeah,
into the bushes.
napped more than us. She had the bicycle, this side, that side of the road.
Girl needs her beauty.
We got a good 4 hours with the sleep.
It's usually me, but funny enough, I was very awake this race. I guess the nap was tricky. I had to focus a lot.
Yeah, and I mean,
So-
Janneke put the caffeine threshold of
Yes,
Yeah,
she popped. And when you get to about 1,000 milligrams, you get a bit nauseous.
It doesn't make
Yeah.
you
It was kind of like a science experiment.
So all she got out of it is you can throw up in your sleep, but nothing changed. And yes, now everything is sore. Look at this. No matter where it's all.
Bruce and I have found you outside Potensi when you'd come down from the ride, and you hadn't finished the ride, but you were coming into Potensi. We found you on the side of the road, and Bruce said you guys looked not finished, but that ride had been a big one.
Sure.
No,
The race is a bit of a blur.
Sure.
But yeah, I think with a lot of the rides, like we said a bit earlier, they were just really so long that it just felt like they never ended. And yeah, especially the first ride where we almost, I say added on 60 k's. And I think that just from there on, all the cycle legs just became long after you've already got that many kilometers in your legs and more importantly on your ass, because it became a problem. Yeah.
Yes, I did this last. What was it? 80k.
83 k's.
When I was 120.
Oh, 123.
But I did
Yeah.
most of the cycle standing. I just
Yeah.
couldn't sit, and that gets tiring after a while. So it was throughout the cycle between my legs and my ass. So to the end of the cycle, I was so my legs were so tired that I started to sitting more. But see.
So in that cycle leg, because when you left Jeffreys Bay on the cycle leg, did you know where you were in the rank in the positions?
I think we were 5th or 6th more or less.
Yeah, we found the Japs were in
We
the
were 6th because the
transition.
French were still there.
Huh? No, the Japanese were still in the transition east wing. And I think we
Well, the
knew...
French were just behind us. Not
The
us.
French were just the
the
French were there.
just behind us. So we knew we were top 5.
And that gave you extra.
No.
Just
No, it was motivational to know we could actually.
But we also saw
On
that
the cycle leg, when we were going up the one hill and we saw 2 teams lights in front of us, we knew we had a chance. But we hadn't slept. We only slept 2 hours the previous night. So then we were like, we can take this, but you can't stay upright on your bike anymore. So it's the bloke, we'll have a sleep, we'll catch him now.
Yeah, I think because also that one we, I think the East Wing left exactly an hour before we left. So when we saw them this morning, yeah, we passed them this morning on the cycle, and that's actually where we managed to get ahead of them for the first time. So yeah, it was quite strange that we actually caught up with them. So I assume they slept a bit longer than we did. But yeah, we actually passed each other a lot. I think a lot of people were seeing which teams were racing together, because I mean we saw them during the hiker bike the day before, and last night or this early hours of this morning we cycled for a fair amount together, and eventually we decided that we stood a chance to make a break, and on one of the legs we just put in a bit of effort and managed to get about a 10-minute gap. Yeah, something like that.
We pushed out for that 10 minutes.
When you got into transition 11, the last one, who else was in the transition?
I think
the Australians were busy doing the 1 hour penalty, and they left about 30 minutes before we. They left about 30 minutes before us, and then the East Wing arrived. East Wing while we were there, they also left with us. We saw them once or twice on the route, and then we're still waiting.
Do you know why? Do you know why you're not seeing them right now?
No.
Well, they went straight when we turned back.
We know they made a nav mistake somewhere. Well, we made a nav mistake initially, and we were back with them after.
Not a nav mistake.
No. Okay.
I was
a
looking
map
at this.
error.
No, it's not an error.
Check it with me. On the map, it looked right. If we just jumped over the hill, it would be.
So he only showed him, but afterwards he showed me. I'm like, okay, I would have done that as well.
Yeah, but we unfortunately didn't experience the dense vegetation with our. Just our shins took a punishment.
Luckily, there was a fence line going down the dune, so this fence line will work, because I'm not going back, because then we were behind the Japanese guys. So I was just going down that fence line, bundu bashing until we hit the road, and then actually we ended up just being behind them.
We popped out, I think, 15 meters behind them.
Where they were like 10 minutes behind us. And then we realized the roads doesn't work. It's not as advertised, because what the map shows and what is in real life is completely different over there. So in the end we were a bit mixing and matching, and clearly we found the path to the beach.
Yeah, and I think we put in a lot of effort from there as well. And we looked around. I've got a habit of seeing imaginary teams behind us. It's a bad habit of mine, but it makes the team run faster. So I mean, we put in a lot of effort. I think the last thing along the beach, we ran consistently, and once again we took a route option, which once again required more bundu bashing. And we thought we had fallen behind them as well, because we took a long time to. You're supposed to stick along the coast and then come up to the Driver River. We went from the other side bundu bashed over a fence through dense bush and popped out luckily there. So we were counting footprints along the beach to see how many people we thought were ahead of us.
When you went into that last dune field, the big one,
Yeah.
before you came over to the lighthouse, did you see a thunderbolt ahead of you?
Yes.
We saw
Yeah.
them about halfway into the
Yeah.
thing. We saw them
We saw them
about.
twice, You
I think-
measured the one time, they were about 4 minutes ahead of us?
No, I
Yeah,
think they
I
were
think-
about 11 minutes.
11,
Yeah.
sorry,
more
11
like
minutes?
15 minutes, but clearly
Yeah.
they saw us
And
as
they-
well because they just disappeared.
Yeah.
Because we could see you catching, and we didn't know. Could you see them? Were the
Yeah,
dunes
there
getting in the
was
way?
twice now when we were both in high points.
So then
where-
that they opened the gap again.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, because I saw them disappear. Yeah.
Yeah, I think from the first time check to the second time check, they had opened up probably about 3 minutes or so. So the idea was to try and run as much as we could to see if we could possibly catch them. But I think our run was it
was
looked like
over.
running, but it was probably close to walking.
And a question we want to know from everybody who's competing in this race: for each one of you? What's the highlight of your race this time?
Sure, this finish line and the pizza. No. Sure,
I'm
the highlight.
listening.
Let's see. Well, I must say that hiker bike through the kloof was. I like that kind of stuff. Okay, I think most people would disagree. Yeah. But yeah, that for me is cool. I like the more make it difficult. It's
Yeah,
adventure
challenging.
after all. Yeah. And the kloofing lake. I know it wasn't called the kloofing lake, but that was also quite nice.
Yeah.
Well, we are quite disappointed. We didn't even see one buffalo schmuffalo.
No, we
We did
one.
we see the one.
Yeah, you claim you saw one.
No, it was really there.
The ranger just
We
says
saw
it
a
was.
buffalo.
I think for me it would probably be the beginning of the cliffing section.
After the pool.
Yeah. Well, actually, we ended up swimming a lot more than Stefan said. Stefan's like, no, everything's knee high.
Stefan's got
We
very
swam
high
across
knees.
it a couple of times. Whether that was the intended route or not, at 4 o'clock in the
knees are
morning,
much higher.
you can't see anything. I think the first time we got sun, it was at like 10 in that morning. So yeah, we swam a lot, but it was chilly, but it was nice. It was really beautiful. It was, when we could actually see what we were doing.
Yeah, and we can't go back there, right?
Yeah.
It's close to the public. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you?
I never knew that. I
You're
would have
lucky.
enjoyed it more. No, I've got to actually agree with him. That canyon was absolutely spectacular. And the nice thing about a canyon section is you usually move a bit slower than usual, so you actually get to appreciate it. You really get to take it in. But unfortunately, doing it at 4 a.m, you do miss out the first 2-3 hours. You can see the silhouettes of the canyon, and you're like, actually, this must look amazing, but you can't see it.
I think some of Ruan's words of appreciation was I hate Stefan so much right now.
I quite enjoyed last night's hike from end of the paddle to Rowan's plate.
I'm like, yeah.
We had most beautiful sunset. It was amazing.
Oh, the beautiful photos. You got the most spectacular
We never found
Well,
Blake
we
though.
got photographers, yeah.
I'm blank. Well,
Ik was op het strand van Leroy af, dus Jeffrey's te verstappen.
He kept
I'll
on calling
take
it
your word
plate.
for it.
He kept on calling it
Plate, yeah.
plate, and he was adamant it was plate.
well, that's horrible. Like,
The long
The
hike.
wide wind never comes. It's just there in the mist, and you walk for an hour, and it looks exactly the same.
yeah, but
We
that's
didn't
one
move.
thing you learn from beach hikes. You can see your destination.
There we go. That one. Let's remind you.
That's pretty awesome.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, no,
It's a
yes.
lot prettier from our side.
Yes, I wish I was there.
In body, but not.
Wow, look at that.
That's it.
Yeah, that was incredible sunset.
Yes.
Okay, and
Photos.
with the other two teams, because they haven't done it before, we could say to them, what would you say to other racers about the race, because they'd experienced it for the first time. But you've all done it multiple times. Are you going to do it next year?
We'll definitely do it next year. Yeah.
Stupidity.
And what would you say to somebody, because you've got the experience of having done it so many times? They must say, you're coming back partly because you are South Africans and it's on your doorstep, but why else would one come back?
I think for me, I mean, as you said, it is on our doorstep, but nowhere else do we get to experience the country like we do during these races. So, I mean, if we were to come down to Cape St. Francis for a holiday, we're never going to see, or even the Baviaanskloof, we're never going to see anything in between it.
No, that canyon, which you said is close to the public anyways. I mean, you always see places you never get to see.
Yeah, and I think the other thing for me is why I come back year after year is, I don't know, the adventure racing community is quite a small and close community, and I quite appreciate that. I mean, it's nice. It makes you feel part of something, which I appreciate. That's kind of why I do it.
Annika?
I'm not sure if I'm coming back.
Drink some more.
It's another glass
It's
of
not here
wine.
next year, so it's fine.
It's too
Yeah,
soon.
I
I
Too
think
soon.
it's should work, so it's fine.
It's probably the same. I always say it's you're never as outside as you are when you're doing an adventure race. I mean, geez, the stars on this race is amazing, and the moon coming up every night is incredible. And this is we did there's a single track we did down into Korea. Where was that?
Yeah, Korea.
Yeah, I was so sorry we missed that in the daylight. There's just all these things that you never, like you say, never would have done other than in a race like this. I mean, I know the Baviaans, I've done Trans-Baviaans a few times and driven through, but I mean, that cliffing was, I mean, again, pity that you don't see the first bit, but I mean, the rest is also beautiful. And then, geez, that downhill was not I had a real sugar low after that hike, but it was amazing. For the first time, I think ever, I was a little close to tears at that transition. It's incredible.
Have you picked up any injury?
I actually had a pain-free.
Yeah, for once.
I was on
For once,
pain
yeah.
pills more or less from day 2.
Yeah, but the rest
Mainly
of us were
tendons.
actually, surprisingly, we, other than surface injuries and that sort of stuff, were pretty good.
I'm still nursing one from last year, so I'm pretty. Give another one.
Well, that's amazing because we've got the top 3 teams doing the fastest times, and all 3 teams are in a similar state.
Okay.
That's
sure.
That's something.
Yeah, I must say, last year, I mean, I had major tendonitis. So Ruan seems to have
I've
a bit
got it
of
now,
tendonitis in his shin now. But we actually, managed to, I think that helped us get to where we did because we all actually worked quite well. Everyone during the adventure race has a bit of a low spot, but we didn't have any major issues we needed to nurse, which helps a lot because that slows you down completely. As soon as one person in the team has an issue, the whole team needs to. You only move as fast as the slowest person is. Yeah, thank you.
Well, I mean, somebody could argue that because of that first dark zone, that it was different from previous editions. You had more
Same as
rest.
Swazi.
But even the same as Swazi, the point is you guys said you didn't sleep much.
Yeah, for us,
You got there a bit late.
the dynamics
Yeah.
was wrong because our competitors were all sleeping 6 hours, I would guess 5-6 hours. We not only had 1 hour sleep, we also had 60 extra Ks in our legs. But okay, we thought let's get this bicycle training up to scratch before we tackle the race, so we did 60 Ks extra on leg 1. And then we were good.
We still love our navigator very, very much. I just thought some way we should say this. I know he beats himself up.
Well, the
about it.
navigation was fine. Just
Yeah, you got it.
It's the plotting that's a problem.
All right.
11,
But
13,
points.
normal. I actually would still like
He's a good navigator, but counting sort of.
I think we went back to the basic school.
It's actually a comedy of errors if you think, because we could have picked it up at checkpoint 13, but checkpoint
But it
13 was
wasn't.
missing. We actually found the cable tie was cut. So then he didn't punch it because we just took a photo. So then we moved on to checkpoint 14. Only then.
and then we spent 5 minutes debating what checkpoint 12 was.
We were actually super in the
Everything-
lead
everything-
because
Yeah.
we were
What was
in
checkpoint
front of
12?
everybody
You
until we
did.
realized it's because we took a shortcut. Anyway,
Is that number 9 in the Dune Fields now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, see,
Daar het die drasties fout gegaan daarso.
They're moving slow.
It's 9.
Well, just
Well,
The Japanese.
well, I feel very sorry for the guys doing that night.
the dune field.
It
Yo.
sucks.
Yeah, come back.
I think Stefan should have put up one of his big kinetic flags.
I did the whole dune field barefoot. That shoes suck in there. What damn
But I
shame.
thought you got gators.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gators doesn't really
Don't do
work.
nuts.
I did it, I know.
Not desert gates.
No, gators were nothing in that dune field.
Gives you a false sense
Beaches
of
is
hope.
look like these.
No, the barefoot worked actually spectacularly.
Yeah, funny enough, the Australians had
worked so nice. We saw they did as well. Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 people who seem to have done
Socks.
it. Oh, they did socks. Okay. Yeah, we just saw the footprints
no,
change. Yeah, the change footprints somewhere along the
I think the
line.
Did you
dune
guys
fields are
see
even
tracks?
worse if the wind is blowing. So luckily we had good weather.
Oh, holla.
Well,
We went in the dune fields, you know how that wind was blowing.
it was blowing fair enough that we saw. Luckily, because the Australian team was just ahead of us, we did see the tracks every now and then. But a couple of times, because we knew they were just ahead of us, there was a few spots where it was blown close completely. So, but the wind wasn't howling, which I think that would have made it a little bit unpleasant. But I think tonight it's going to be. The temperature drops over there. It gets very
You
cold.
guys were very lucky you had the wind blowing from behind.
On our backs. Yes.
Yeah.
This is the first time ever that I experience it's warm on the mountains and cold down. We were cycling down, but it's like you open a fridge door. It's nice and warm, and it's like ice cold until you're through the river and it's warm again. It's weird. I've never had that.
You go the warmer it gets.
There was also that sudden change. From
Yeah.
nice and warm to exceptionally cold and then warm again.
So it's safe to say after this race, paddling is probably a stronger
Yeah.
skill for you guys.
We
know
kind of
that.
decided that we can have tomorrow off.
We're not
but,
that
but
bad,
maybe
apparently.
Friday we should start
Paddling
practicing
again.
our paddling.
We should.
An expedition India in September?
Yeah, we need to
Hopefully
chat
there's
about
no
that.
paddling.
Then I work off a side thing yet. That's much better for us. We'll chat about it afterwards. But it's on the cards.
Janneke says she's keen.
I was keen.
But now she hates cycling. She hates running. we realized.
You just want to see.
I work as a
Okay.
volunteer here.
I just want to say, when you were walking down after the dark zone, and you were walking down the road, and Bruce and
Llewellyn.
Llewellyn and Bruce and I, we were surprised that you were walking down at that time. We thought you'd be down there at 4, but you were walking down. It was probably 3:15. We saw you a fair way up the road.
Yeah. So we actually.
Trying to time it.
Yeah, we're trying to time
Must
it
take about
because
10 minutes.
yeah, we thought we would sleep at transition and get better sleep there as opposed to sleep
Yeah.
down
Most people do.
at the checkpoint where it was cold. So we saw obviously a lot of teams were filtering down, and we just timed it wrong, which I actually think wasn't necessarily a bad thing because we ended up having a really good leg and we could do it at our own pace. But we actually just the intention was to be there just before 4, so we could almost have a bit of a mass start. But at the same time, we knew some of the other teams had slept, so it's that fine balance between trying to get a little bit of sleep or trying to get it too early and then you still haven't slept, which we didn't at the end of the day. But anyway, it was just some bad timing on our side.
Because we spoke to Rowan, and you were very positive. And I was like, wow, because of what had happened the previous day with the route and an extra 60 k's or so. And you were so positive, right?
It happened.
Of course, but you're sitting here because of that. So, well done.
thank you.
Excellent race.
Cool.
Eat.
Cheers.